The Dead Space remake is right around the corner, and we just got an extended gameplay walkthrough of, I believe, Chapter 3 of the story, detailing some of the environments, some of the enemies that you'll have to come across, and just how you'll find many ways to chop up your enemies. For those of you who've been here for a while, you know that Dead Space is one of my favorite, not just horror games of all time, but one of my favorite just general games of all time. So this remake is really special to me. I cannot wait. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump in and check out this extended walkthrough for Dead Space. Also, if you do enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button, as it very much helps out the channel get seen by more people, and subscribe if you're new here. We'd love to have you become a part of the family. But without further ado, it's enough talking. Let's jump in. All right, baby, let's go. Now, from the images that we've seen for this upcoming remake, I gotta say, it looks damn good compared to the original.
My name is Philippe Ducharme, senior producer on Dead Space. Today, I'm here to give you a first look at one of my favorite sections in the game. So we find ourselves here in the Ishimura's hangar at the beginning of Chapter 3.
Oh, the
We're going to make
Ishimura
our way
looks
towards
so
the control room
legit.
and engineering, where we'll attempt to restart the ship's engine.
Oh, we get it side by side too. Look at the difference, guys.
Than it is now.
Oh my gosh.
We get to explore this location and literally fly through it before heading to our destination.
I mean, you know, Dead Space 1 came out 14 years ago. 14 years, so obviously
Navigating between
big
chapters without load
improvements.
screens or having a camera cutaway is part of how we've reimagined the Ishimura for the remake. We don't need to rely on the tram as the sole way to get between chapters.
I love how they kept that no UI look,
now a
like really
seamless,
immerses you in the
interconnected
environment.
Entering vacuum.
One of the things I love so much about Dead Space was just the detail with the audio, especially when you went into like 0G, you went into outer space.
We've got two lurkers here.
Oh, and they added it too.
With a pulse rifle or Isaac's trusty plasma cutter.
Plasma cutter. I did a whole
Additional
playthrough
firearms on board.
with
You may have to improvise
just a plasma
and
cutter.
choose how to take each necromorph down.
Like, if you fully upgrade the plasma cutter, it was very
We're now entering the
overpowered.
ship. We have a lot to show you, so let's skip ahead to Chapter 3.
Okay, I think this is where like the meat of the demo is.
We've just received a briefing to head over to the refueling station.
Oh,
To get there, we're passing through the machine shop over here.
I heard there's like no loading screens too, so you can fully explore the Ishimura without having to like
If you
stop.
needed to backtrack or simply wanted to explore the ship further, you may encounter a completely different experience.
Dude,
And enemies, the ambience and lighting may change. This is what we call the intensity director. It keeps the Ishimura unpredictable and brings some additional tension and challenge.
That's exciting. I like how you won't just clear an area and then never encounter enemies there again.
The way to the refueling station is just a little further ahead.
You might find new enemies in an area that you've previously been to, maybe harder ones.
As you can see, some memorable moments are authentic to the original. We've added tons of graphical enhancement that support strategic dismemberment.
To this
Using
day,
kinesis,
that concept
we'll
is
bring
so
that gondola
interesting
over
to
and
me.
make our way to the south refueling station.
When this game first came out, the idea that you didn't just shoot the necromorphs, you had to dismember
We need
them.
to gain access to the fuel
That was the
management
best way to
contains
be
the power functions for the refueling station.
economic with your ammo.
We can follow that cable to find our way there. One of the things we tried to achieve was to add more context to the various objectives, to expand on what was there, and bring a bit more detail and depth where we could.
Guys, look at those shadows, the lighting. Oh my gosh, dude, I cannot wait to play this. I try to play it on like the hardest difficulty because I love to torture myself.
The refueling station has no power. We can look for a way to access the fuel management office.
I hope there's new suits too. One thing I loved about the original Dead Space is there was like different suits that you could
This
get.
card should allow us in, and we can now make our way back.
Those helmets were legit.
Daniels?
Thank God. After the bridge, we thought...
Glad to disappoint. I barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them, but I don't think they know I'm here. Isaac, I tracked down your rig. You're in engineering, right? I'll get myself admin privileges. Maybe I can help.
Now that we have access to this room, we're faced with a very tough choice. We could cut power to life support and rely on air canisters for oxygen, but today we'll play a section without lights instead.
Wow, you get choices on how do you want to torture yourself in this? What do you want to have to deal with? I would definitely keep the lights, in my opinion. Oh, it's good to see Stasis is gonna be back too. Dude, that's awesome.
With the power restored, the south refueling station can now be activated.
Dude, Stasis was a lifesaver when you were getting surrounded. Just to be able to freeze an enemy.
Decontamination sequence activated. Please stand by.
In the decontamination room, using new tech, we've cranked up the tension.
I kind of got high hopes for this.
Dynamic smoke creates that thick and opaque atmosphere that makes you lose track of the lurkers, even when they're right next to you.
Oh, shoot, dude. Hell no. Absolutely not.
It adds to the claustrophobia, the feeling of being locked in with a pack of necromorphs.
Yeah, that'll do it for sure. I was about to say, what is happening?
Our last stop is the centrifuge.
Oh, dude, the centrifuge room.
Dragged down to the planet below.
Y'all, the OGs know this room was crazy.
So much detail in here.
It looks way better now.
Floating debris. We
Almost
wanted this room to be
completely
imposing
different.
and tell a story at the same time. It's a lot more impressive, and its size makes it harder to keep track of the incoming necromorphs. So audio plays a huge role here in identifying the direction of threats.
Wow. You got some of the OG enemies in here too.
With one of the generator modules back in place, we can head to the second one. Flying in zero-G and not being anchored to the surface makes spatial awareness extremely important. Combat encounters can quickly become deadly, especially with leapers.
Y'all, the difference compared to the original is outstanding.
And now, with the generator modules powered up, the centrifuge is ready to be activated.
Generator module attached. Clutch engaged. All personnel clear for centrifuge restart.
I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek at the new Dead Space. Thank you for tuning in.
Holy moly. I cannot wait. So that was absolutely incredible. We just checked out the extended gameplay demo for the highly anticipated Dead Space remake set to launch in January of 2023. Now, there's a lot of games that I'm excited about for next year, from that to the Breath of the Wild sequel and so many more. But Dead Space is definitely at the top of my list for games that I am most excited for. And this gameplay demo has me even more excited than I possibly could have imagined. Like, I cannot wait to see this game in action and relive some of these horror moments in incredible detail, awesome visuals. The sound quality sounds amazing, and just be able to relive this game in a way that we haven't been able to do in a long time. Now, I know we're living in an age of remakes where it seems like a lot of classic games are getting remade instead of new IPs. And while I will agree that I definitely want to see new experiences come out, not just remakes, not just remasters, but I will say that a lot of the games that are getting remade today are games that I personally consider some of my favorite games of all time. And I think that's why they're getting remade. I know a lot of people give flack to The Last of Us that recently came out that was considered a remake, because we just got The Last of Us 2, which felt like maybe 2 years ago. And so for them to come out with a remake for Last of Us 1 like a year or so later definitely felt rushed in a way. It felt too soon. But, you know, when we look at it, The Last of Us 1 came out, the first one, not the remaster, whatever. The first one came out, I want to say, 10 years ago or something like that. So I will say that remakes are very plentiful now, but I'm not complaining. Last of Us remake was absolutely gorgeous, very nice to be able to relive that experience. One of my favorite games of all time, and I'm really excited for this one. We have not seen any remasters, I believe, for Dead Space, or at least I've never played a remaster. And so to see this game get a full rework is awesome. It's absolutely incredible, and I'm glad that it's not just a remaster where they're just kind of porting over a couple beefed up graphics, but it looks like Motive has really gone in and given this a very fresh coat of paint to a game that otherwise very much needed it and deserves to come back. I was very sad when Visceral Games went away. I think they got bought out, or they went bankrupt or something like that, because they were the original creators for this amazing game. So I was very, very surprised to see that, you know, another studio had picked it up and was bringing Dead Space back to life. It's very exciting for me, but I'm very curious to hear, what did you guys think about the extended gameplay demo? Is there anything that you're very excited about for this particular game? And did you play the original? If so, let me know what your favorite one is. For me, it's Dead Space 2, always will be, but I have a special place in my heart for the original Dead Space, and I cannot wait to jump back into this incredible journey. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What are you most excited for Dead Space, or is there a game in 2023 that you cannot wait for? Got a lot of good experiences coming out, so keep it locked into the channel. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'd love to have you become a part of the family. We got a lot of walkthroughs and reactions for everything in the gaming world happening right here, so you're already in the right place. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. And until then, I hope you guys are safe. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. As always, my name is That Guy Rye, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.